When someone is looking to get involved in politics, one of the first things you hear is, well, join a political party. So I thought a good topic today would be to discuss what exactly are political parties, what are their pros, what are their cons, and kind of get at the heart of if joining a political party is something that you should do if you want to get more active in the political process. Hello, my name is Clinton, and this is the Citi-Zen-Ship show. Here we talk about politics from a basic and nonpartisan way, just trying to get you guys more informed with how you can get involved in the political process and become active political citizens. From the Canadian context, Elections Canada defines a political party as an organization, one who has the fundamental purpose to participate in public affairs by endorsing one or more of its members as candidates and supporting their election. So what does that mean? It means that really a political party is a national organization of like-minded people. So instead of essentially evaluating candidates on an individual level, what's your experience, what do you think, what do you believe, a political party groups candidates into various subsections, right? So if you're Team Blue, the assumption that everybody within Team Blue kind of thinks the same. If you're Team Orange, everybody under the gaze of Team Orange thinks the same. I think it would be better to, actually evaluate candidates on an individual basis, but a lot of the time, the average voter doesn't have the time or energy to actually research their local candidate. So instead, they use a political party as kind of a benchmark to what does this person believe. If they're Team Blue, they believe this. If they're Team Orange, they believe that. Going over kind of more broadly what a political party does, it really oversees the process of recruiting candidates. So who's going to be within our team? They help recruit and facilitate that recruitment process. They assist candidates during elections. This is by creating marketing or messaging materials for them to share with the electorate or the voters. They organize volunteers and donations. That's another big aspect of what political parties do. And overall, provide the values and mission statement that unite like-minded candidates. So again, they are national organizations that group candidates into subsections of like-minded people. That is how I would very simply define what a political party is. Here in Canada, the political parties are the Liberals, the Conservatives, the New Democrats, Bloc Québécois, the Green Party, you got the People's Party, you got the Rhino Party, you got the Marijuana Party. There's about a dozen parties. If you actually go and look at the ballot, there's a lot more than you think. But in terms of governing political parties, there have only actually been two in Canadian history, and that is either the Liberals or the Conservatives. Team Red or Team Blue, as I refer to them as, very similar to the United States, where you have the Republicans and the Democrats, red or blue. In the Canadian context, however, we do have more choices. So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages for joining a political party? As I said off the top of this, for people wanting to get involved in politics, a political party is usually the first thing that they engage in. So what are some of the benefits to joining a political party? Off the top would be networking and community. Political party, as I said, is like-minded people. So if you want an informal space to actually meet people in real life and discuss politics, a political party is a great way to start. If you're a student going to university or college, a lot of the times a political party will have student clubs, and these clubs will bring candidates onto campus to give lectures or Q&As or informal kind of drinking networking events. There's a lot of drinking associated with networking. That's just kind of a byproduct of all networking events. Politics is definitely kind of intertwined with that. So you can go to these mixers and these different events to meet politicians, meet candidates, meet student organizers, meet protest organizers, and various different people right within this one political agenda. So that would be the first big part, is networking and community. If you actually want to physically go out there and meet people. A political party definitely organizes various events that you can participate in. The second big thing is access to education and skills. So political parties are a great place to learn about politics. As I say, these events, sometimes there's lectures and Q&As involved, but just on the political party website themselves. Every political party has a constitution as well as a political platform. And these two documents, they're usually quite lengthy, but if you actually go in and read, you can learn a lot about what a political party stands for by reading its constitution and reading its platform. So great educational opportunities for those of you who maybe you're not ready to actually go physically meet people, but you can go on to liberal.ca or the Conservative Party website and read up on all their resources, and it will give you a really good idea of what these parties stand for. Lastly, and probably the most important point, is to actually influence the political process itself. So if you join a political party and you're a card-carrying member, you will be able to vote for their leadership. You will be able to vote for particular policies. A policy is really just a promise or something the party wants to get completed. So legalizing marijuana was a policy. The carbon tax, either adding to it or revoking it, is a policy, right? So as a member of a political party, you can go to conventions or you can vote online. There's many ways that you can actually have your voice heard, but you can actually participate in these kind of internal voting to see what issues are going to be at the forefront during the election. So if you are really big onto human rights or environmental concerns or whatever it be, if you have kind of a niche topic that you're really interested in, you could join a political party, find like-minded people who are also into that, and push that forward kind of through a grassroots movement, bring it up from your local community and get national attention. A political party will definitely be able to facilitate that, because that's what political parties are all about, kind of taking ideas from the ground and then moving them up to the national stage. So that would be the three main things, what I would say are benefits to joining a political party: networking and community opportunities, educational resources, and lastly, influencing politics, both on the political platform, the policy side of things, but also voting for party leadership. Card-carrying members can vote. Not always. There's actually, when Justin Trudeau was elected as leader of the Liberal Party, they actually opened up the voting to anybody in Canada. You didn't have to be a Liberal member in order to vote, but traditionally, you do have to be a party member in order to vote for the leadership. That will change depending on the political party and the particular election at play. But the general rule is, if you want to vote, you got to be a member. So what are some of the disadvantages? Well, for me, to kind of show you my cards, I used to be a card-carrying member of a political party. I am no longer. And a big thing of that is I just really value my independence. So we're going to go over kind of some of the things that I see wrong with modern political parties. And that amongst them are, number one, you only hear one side of the story. So political parties can sometimes oversimplify issues in order to present their option as the option, right? So there's this graphic that was up on this like cartoon thing that was up in my high school, and it was like a 6 or like the number 6, right? And one guy was standing on one side and he's like, it's a 6. And the other guy standing on the other side and he's like, it's a 9, and it's kind of just showing that different perspectives can show different results, right? And I really think political parties can kind of fall into this trap by the place that you're standing will inform how you look at a particular issue. So like I say, a political party can sometimes oversimplify issues or push forward their particular perspective and not tell you what the other side is. So in order to get the whole truth, you have to talk with multiple political parties and multiple perspectives. Political parties are adversarial by nature. This is another big critique with political parties in the sense that they do not collaborate. During elections in particular, They're trying to win seats. They want their candidate to go to Ottawa or their candidate to go to Washington, and the other parties are just evil and damned, right? And then when they get there, okay, the election is over, you'd think that they'd actually compromise and want to work together. Very seldom the case. Political party and political identity is very entrenched even in the making of laws. Political parties will sit together in Parliament, all the Liberals here, the Conservatives here, the New Democrats here. They very rarely mingle amongst themselves, and they kind of just create arbitrary lines that discourage cooperation. So that's a very big negative of them. From your perspective, if you're thinking of joining a political party, one of the big drawbacks, I would say, is a loss of independence and a compromising of your beliefs. So what do I mean by that? You may join a political party because you believe in a particular issue and you find like-minded people who also believe in that issue. However, what happens if you believe in 80% of what the party says, but you disagree with this 20%? If you are a true party member, you must adopt the 20% that you disagree with, even if you disagree with it, right? So this is kind of, you have to take everything. You know, this would kind of be like going to McDonald's and you got to have the combo. You got to have the Coke, the fries, and the burger. Even if you just wanted the burger, you're getting the Coke and the fries anyway, and you can't really stop it. Now, that's not how McDonald's works. That's how political parties work. Just my kind of weird food analogy because I haven't had lunch yet. So the big problem with political parties is, how do I have it written here? When you join a political party, you have to embrace the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you sometimes have to sacrifice your own beliefs in order to fit into the group. Now, some people are going to be okay with that. Some people are not going to be okay with that. So just something to be aware of. Lastly, partisanship and political perception. When you join a political party, you are picking a team. And this is where, an employer might not like the team you picked. Your spouse might not like the team you picked. Your friends might not like the team you pick. There is a lot of weight that comes from wearing a particular color. If you're going to be a card-carrying member of a political party, kind of building off of the last statement there, you're taking the good, the bad, and the ugly, and there is a public weight and reputation that comes with that. Because now you're a liberal, and people who don't like liberals are just not going to like you because of your team. So remaining independent allows you to kind of meld with a larger group of people because you're not really pigeonholing yourself into one ideology. So that's kind of the main cons I see with joining a political party. You only hear one side of the story. There's a loss of independence, and then the public perception that comes with joining a political party can sometimes be very negative. So to kind of round this out, let's talk about being independent. The main benefit, I think, to being an independent is that you can put compromise first. You can actually work with various political parties on a case-by-case basis. Say on this particular policy, I want to align myself with more of the right-wing people. On this particular policy, I want to align myself with the left-wing kind of people. You're allowed a lot more freedom on the associations that you choose because as an independent, you're not really tied into one particular color. I think that's a big benefit. The drawbacks to being an independent really just come from funding. Political parties, large national organizations, they have deep pockets and they have brand recognition. Most Canadians, even if you're not checked into politics, you probably heard of the Liberal Party. You've probably heard of the Conservatives or the New Democrats. You've probably heard of the Bloc Québécois at some point if you're a Canadian, right? You're aware of these names. They are brands. They carry with them some national weight. But as an independent, you're kind of swimming upstream. You're all on your own and you have to build your credibility as yourself, and you can't really tie yourself to these larger brands. So that's definitely a negative for kind of going the independent way if you're a candidate. I'm talking about candidates. If you're just a voter, I think all voters should be independent, honestly, personally, because that would allow people to actually look at things again on a case-by-case basis. Last thing I want to say about independents is they get sometimes labeled as fringe. And this is an argument that I particularly dislike, being an independent myself. People say, oh, you're an independent because, you must believe in crazy shit. The political parties have weeded out all the nonsense, and they're kind of more mainstream, like this is option 1, 2, and 3. And if you don't believe in option 1, 2, and 3, you must believe in some kind of crazy option. That's not necessarily true. A lot of people are independents because they couldn't join a political party or they got kicked out of a political party. But a lot of people are just independents because, again, we don't want to be pigeonholed. So kind of some closing thoughts on this topic. My advice would be to be a lifetime learner, to learn from as many people as you can, to go to political party events, to have an open heart and an open mind, and to try and listen to things from as many different perspectives as you can. Don't drink the Kool-Aid is, I guess, the expression that I love to share. The second that you sign on the dotted line and you're a member of a party, you kind of have to take it all, good, bad, and ugly. And I would rather sit here in my independence and say, I will choose which causes I support and which ones I don't support based on my own knowledge and my own understanding, and not because my team told me to support it. So I would, be hesitant to fully drink the Kool-Aid on things like that. Political parties, as I say, can be a great way to meet new people and learn new skills. They can also provide volunteer opportunities. I'm definitely encourage you guys to get involved in a political party if politics is a potential career that you want to get into. Political parties will definitely connect you with the movers and shakers, and they will allow you to actually get hands-on skills. I would caution you guys against giving money to political parties. There's one thing to give your time if you're volunteering and then you're gaining skills, whether it be canvassing or phone calls or working on signs. If you want to volunteer your time, I would actually encourage that. I would discourage, especially if you're a student, especially if you are, not in a good financial place. They don't really need your money. They're going to tell you they need your money, but they really don't need your money. These are very large national organizations. They don't need your $20. Keep your $20 to yourself. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an overview of the advantages and disadvantages of a political party. As I said, I used to be involved in party politics myself. I've kind of grown away from it just because just in the way I am in my life now, I value independence. I value being able to choose what things I support and what things I don't support. And I seek knowledge and understanding, not winning. I think a political party can, a lot of the time we use the sports metaphor. And I'm a big hockey fan. I like to, wear my colors on Hockey Night in Canada and cheer for my team. I don't think that kind of attitude has a place in politics, though, because I think that the purpose of politics, and this is just me speaking, I think the purpose of politics is to put forward policy that is in the national good. What is good for the country? And what is good for the country is very rarely what is good for the political party, because the party, again, has such a narrow view of what success looks like, right? What is good for one party is usually bad for another party, which means that it's bad for a segment of the country. So if we actually seek knowledge, we seek compromise, and we seek the public good, not the party good, I think that's going to make everybody more happy. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter. If you guys liked this podcast and want to subscribe, that would be awesome. I know I haven't made one of these in a while. I've been working on my own business. I'm a videographer and I do a bunch of things on the side, but I do want to touch base with you guys when I can on a regular basis to continue having these political discussions. I am not a political pundit. I am not a party hack. I am a historian and a storyteller, and I love talking about politics. You'll notice that this isn't really a news show, and I don't really comment on the new things that are kind of happening in current events. There's plenty of shows that are going to give you that. This is really a show based on political theory to help you understand the news better and maybe give you an impression in this particular case on whether you join a political party or not. So with that, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. My name is Clinton. This is the Citi-Zen-Ship Show, and I wish you guys all the best. Cheers.